But I mean, I'm fully persuaded that these people have the same talking points because it's a playbook. And I think it's a playbook from kind of China via the World Economic Forum. I mean, I think that there's a reason they all sound so similar. I mean, you see the same turns of phrase, in countries around the world that are aligned with these kind of CCP/WEF goals. It's disgusting. But look, I totally agree with you. I've been allowed back onto Twitter. And on Twitter, what really strikes me is that critics on the left, commentators, journalists will say, oh, that person who's a conservative is a racist, sexist, transphobe. But they've stopped rebutting anything with facts. And it's just since I was last on Twitter, even they've stopped feeling the obligation to present a fact. They just present outrage, and the outrage is trite and reductionist. And that makes me really sad. I mean, it makes me so sad. I know what you're talking about. It must be, if anything, worse in Canada, but it's bad enough in the United States. I mean, I wrote my most recent essay about this, like going back to Brooklyn, going back to New York City, and no one's talking about it. Like everything we've been through the last 3 years, lockdowns, mandates, forced mRNA injections, young adults dropping dead. No one in the literary circles of Manhattan and Brooklyn is addressing this biggest story of our time. That the dissidents on the outside, people like you and I, are addressing. And so there's this surreal quality. I went into a bookstore and none of the writers on race have talked about how, African-American families are poorer than ever as a result of the lockdowns, or the learning deficits that lower income children have sustained, especially in communities of color. Feminists are not writing about how a decade of women's advancement in the workplace has been rolled back because they had to go home to take care of the kids because the kids were stranded at home. No one, in the worlds of speaking up for, like, Robert Reich on the mass transfer of wealth, crickets, Michael Moore, who's always spoken up for working class people on how they were forced to not work, nothing. So there's this, like, I could go on and on, the novelists haven't touched it, and it's gold for once in a lifetime, once in a century kind of material for novelists. No one's touching, no one who wants to stay inside the establishment, go to the parties, keep the perks, not be ostracized like I am, or you may have been, I don't know. It seems like you're okay. No establishment figure is touching this third rail of the most important story of our time. So it creates, and if they do, it's like this kind of mess of cliche and redirection, like, and always it ends up with, well, but Trump is really bad. Like whatever was done to the world, is better than Trump. So it's a very intellectually shameful time right now.
Hi, it's David Krayden here for Krayden's Right. I hope you're enjoying this channel as much as I enjoy putting the material on here. This is not just about politics. I sing some of my favorite songs from the Great American Songbook. And you can also watch my latest show, which is Ottawa Exposed, where we do some of the news you're not going to hear anywhere else. But please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. If you want to be part of this station, please be a subscriber. We want you.